Andy, for all the disappointment of the last couple of minutes and the long way to Gateshead, it was a trip that was well worth the effort in the end.
Absolutely, it's you know, the performance and the attitude and the way that we carried out the game plan was tremendous, you know, and the response the players have given for the last couple of games from the disappointment at Braintree has been really good. Been very pleased with it. You know, really we should have come away with 6 points, but we've got 4 from 2 tough games, and that's all we could have asked. You know, we've played four of the top 5 at the time. You know, it's a case now that you know, we've played a lot of the top teams. We've taken 3 points from teams above us, but you know, we've got to make sure that we continue that progress and the belief in ourselves. We still need to improve in the quality, because I think that there was times in the second half, certainly if we were a little bit more clinical with what we did in the box, then we could have got that second goal and killed the game off. But you know, Gateshead have got a tremendous home record, and you know, Gary's admitted that, you know, they really struggled and they completely changed the way they wanted to play to try and get back in the game, so that was credit to us.
Exactly, and I think the stats are we've played 8 of the 13 teams above Aldershot now. It has been an exacting start to the season, but you know, the team have shown that they can compete with those top teams. Yeah,
I think that, you know, it's a fine line. You know, we've picked up, we've beaten every team below us apart from one where we've drawn, so we're not lost. But you know, we've drawn and not won games above us, so it probably indicates that where we are in the league is around about where we deserve to be, and you know, where we should be. But you know, you look at the teams, and you look at, you know, the league teams, the teams that have come down from the league, and obviously not had the problems that we've had in the last couple of years, and it's a tough league, you know. You know, we're in touching distance to some teams that have spent a hell of a lot of money, and we've given a good account of ourselves over a tough stretch of games when, you know, we have lost some key players, particularly Barks and Molesley, but even players like Tristan who have made an impact. You know, we're missing those players, so to put a performance like we did on a Saturday was terrific with the squad that we've got, and it was a long journey, but it was, you know, well worth it, and a lot more enjoyable on the way home, having played so well.
Yeah, and now Dover tomorrow, they're struggling in both boxes, not scoring as many as they'd like and conceding more, but they've beaten Eastleigh already at the Crabble, so they'll, you know, on their day, they're dangerous opposition.
They are dangerous opposition, and you know, you can't underestimate anyone in this league. You know, you've got to be on it, and that's, I think that's something that we've got to make sure that the players go there, and we said it after the game Saturday. We wanted to prepare for Tuesday straight after the game on Saturday, and we mentioned it in debriefing after the game that, you know, that point will mean nothing if we don't go to Dover and put on the same performance again, and it's going to be as difficult a game, although being under different circumstances and playing against a different type of team, but it's going to be just as difficult because you know, we've had a lot of travelling to do, and they haven't. So you know, they've got some dangerous players. They're good at set plays. You know, any team that comes up from the conference is a good side and a capable side. The Conference South is a very good league, and we've got some teams that are paying good money, and there's lots of players there that are more than capable of playing in this league. So we've got to go there and be professional about our approach and make sure that we, you know, create as many chances as we have done and defend from the front as solidly as we have done.
And I think in their win against Alfreton on Saturday, they played what some people have described as a 5-2-3 or a 3-4-3 formation. Are you expecting an open game, which that formation suggests it might be?
Well, I hope it's open from their behalf, but not ours. You know, I don't like open games. I like to be solid and not give any opposition chances. But you know, in fairness to Chris, you know, they didn't start off too well, but they have changed their formation in the last couple of games and playing 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, and that changed it around a little bit, and they've obviously got the players and the versatility to be able to do that, and he's looking for the right formula to win games, and off the back of a couple of results they've got a decent one on Saturday. So you know, going away from home anywhere in this league tricky, and picking up points away from home is vital, but it's important that you win your home games to do that. We've won a game against Lincoln and we picked up a good point against Gateshead, and we've got to go add to our tally again on Tuesday night.
And I suppose with a formation that's different to a rigid 4-4-2, is it just we go there and impose our own game, or do you have to look at players popping up in different areas?
I think you can read too much into it. I mean, we didn't change our formation for Gateshead, who played a different formation, and they ended up changing theirs to a 3 at the back because they couldn't cope with what we were doing, and they had to try something different. And obviously the players will be aware of what's going on and aware of the formation they set up with, but we'll also be showing them exactly how we can break them down and what weaknesses they've got, as long as we play to our strengths. And you can overcomplicate it sometimes with players. I think if they're confident, if you say to the team, this is the way we play and this is what we're going to do, no matter how the other team's set up, this is what we've got to do when they play, but this is what we normally do when we've got the ball, then you're showing belief and trust in the players that you've got and the way that you're playing, and it's shown in the last couple of games that that's borne fruit for us.
Yeah, and confidence will be high after 4 points from the last 2 games.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, listen, we know the Braintree game was nowhere near acceptable, and we can get carried away with it one way or another, but we responded very well. We've had the Braintree game in the first half at Nuneaton have been poor this season, but out of 12 games, that's not bad given who we've played against. We would like to pick some more points up, of course we would, but we're realistic, and we know that we've got to score more goals, but defensively we're pretty sound. We've only conceded the 3 goals against Braintree is more than we needed to, really. So we are making life difficult for other teams. We're just not hitting form in front of goal in the opposition box. We are creating chances. We're not making the keeper work enough. We know that, but that's something that we've got to maintain those chances and keep putting the ball in the box and keep creating those opportunities, and hopefully it will come right, and we'll work on that and work on technique and getting the mental side of it right for the players to make sure that we can score, and that's coming from everyone. In set plays as well, we were a lot more dangerous on Saturday, so that's something that we've improved on. We've got to keep moving on that and keep trying to create chances and score from every opportunity.
And you said these results have been achieved without some key players. Josh Scott was missing with an injury on Saturday. I think Mark Molesley's close to a return to training. Yeah,
we would have liked him to start training last week, but we just felt that another week would really benefit him. It's obviously a tricky one because we've missed him. We know from last year that he not only can create goals but score them, and it's just about being around the squad as well. It just gives everyone a bit of a lift to have both him and Barks around, but. We couldn't rush him, and we know that the problem he was having, he was struggling in games, and we couldn't do it. But the lads that come in have performed really well. Joe and Gesson came in and scored on Saturday, and had to come off because he was getting cramp. So he put his hand up and said, I've got no more left in the tank. So the lads are giving everything they've got, but we are lacking on numbers. We need to get through tomorrow night, and then we've got Saturday and Tuesday again, and then we've got a few weeks without Tuesday games, so that should give us the ability to be able to rest and be firing and get everyone back. But when you think that we've played, it'd be nearly a third of the season after tomorrow night, it's remarkable how many games you have in the first couple of months, and with a few injuries that we've had, I think we've coped pretty well given the sides that we've played in the top half of the table.
Yeah, last season you said the fixture list was unbalanced towards the end of the season. Do you think it's overcompensated earlier in the season
now?
Well,
it seems that way at the moment, but I don't think it is, because obviously the cup games start kicking in, and then there's going to be replays, and then you're going to get the bad weather, and so I think it's the right way of doing it. If we had a squad of 22, 23, like the top bigger teams have got that are spending the money, then it's obviously a lot easier and they can change their side around. But it's credit to the players and their fitness and their ability to get out on the pitch and give their all, that they've been able to play this many games in such a short amount of time. A lot of them are carrying little niggles and bumps and bruises, but they just want to play football, and that's great to see that. They just get on and get on with it and get out there. Hopefully that we can get everyone back, you know, in the next couple of weeks, so that when we have Saturday to Saturday, we'll be chomping on the bit every week to be going for it and have the opportunity to rest players and you know, work on stuff in training rather than just sort of ploughing ahead with the ones that we've got and just sort of wrapping them in cotton wool.